Happy Tuesday, everybody. Dustin Ward here, aka D Truth, coming live and direct on Facebook from my new studio. I was having some complications yesterday doing this. I was in my kitchen. I was standing up, moving all around, just going really too fast. I got real sweaty and hot, and I was just like, man, I need a place to sit during this. I had been doing them up in my bedroom. The whole goal of all of this, though, is to eventually bring other people in and have other conversations and discussions. So I needed a space that's a little bit more wide open. My basement seems like the most logical choice. It's half finished. I had really big plans for it when I originally moved in here, but 2 days after I moved in, we had a really bad rain, and there was about 1 inch of water throughout my whole basement. That's only because the sub pump stopped working, actually. So I replaced that, and I haven't had any problems since, but I was really glad that happened within the first 2 days of me moving in, because it completely, I'm not going to store any kind of equipment down here. It'll be chairs and all that. I can put some lights, but as far as computers or cameras or anything like that goes, I will not be keeping that down here just because of the moisture and the possibility of water damage. I think things like I said, chairs and tables, it's not going to be that big a deal. But yeah, so that's where I'm at. I'm using these AirPod things. We're gonna see how those sound. It's pretty boomy down here. I imagine if I didn't have these in, my voice would have a whole lot of reverb in it. I'm wondering how this is gonna be though, so we'll find out together. Look at my outfit too, guys. I had just woke up. You can tell. But another thing that I'm kind of nervous about doing it down here in the basement is my cats. Their litter boxes are down here. They're always down here. So we'll see how that goes. I might have to kind of push them more over by the furnace or something. I don't know. But yeah, I could watch them play right now. They're super distracting. They're so cute. First and foremost, though, before we get into today's topic, I want to announce that my wife, Paige Boysall, is also starting a podcast. She's going to call it Tea with Mama P. I think it's beautiful. I love that name. It really ties into what I'm doing with this cup of truth. I don't exactly know what her content is going to be about. Probably a lot of self-development, like what I'm talking about. As we continue to grow, though, these channels are going to grow too, and the content's going to kind of vary. Like I said, eventually I want to just be talking to other people. I'll still do vlogs and all that stuff, but that's another thing I'd like to move into, is more an actual vlog. I set up a YouTube page yesterday, got my first audio on Podbean. I need to get at least 5 episodes up before I can submit them to Apple Music and Spotify, but that is within the plan. So I'm just staying on track, which brings us to our topic of today, which is perfection. I can't see who's watching right now. Oh, what up, Adam? How you doing? I got the camera so far away. Eventually, I'm gonna have a better setup where I got a computer over here, or maybe I'm doing it on the computer and then I can reply on my phone. But right now, this is what we got. So I'm just gonna say, hey, as you're tuning in, all right? But yes, that brings us to our topic today, perfection. All right. Oh, another thing. I forgot. The Tea with Mama P. Mama P did her introduction video yesterday, and she said when she met me, she thought I was like Johnny Depp. I was just like, what? I thought that was hilarious. Made me blush a little bit. So yeah, if you think I look like Johnny Depp, Adam, go ahead and drop that flame emoji down below. Okay, so perfection. What is perfection, first off? And that is being free, or as close to free from all flaws as possible. So within the definition, we already know that perfection is absolutely not fucking possible, because the definition says free or as free as possible. So that, or as free as possible, you know that you're never gonna quite get 100% perfection out of anything you do. And I thought it was really ironic too that the definition had the word free in it, because when I think of perfection, I think of kind of enslavement of the mind, because I mean that shit can be a trap, being focused on being perfect too much. I fell into that trap when it was right around the time when I met Paige. I really wanted to impress her. I was still making music at the time, but everything I was doing, I just felt wasn't good enough. I didn't want to put it out there because I didn't think that people would feel it. And, as I've like gone through this, it was a good 3 years I would still be performing and stuff, but yeah, 3 or 4 years where I did not put out a single piece of content whatsoever. And that was really rare for me. I mean, we had been putting out content, me and my buddies, ever since we were young. Like, we started our first band when we were 14. We were putting out CDs. And it's really funny that I became such a perfectionist, like, later on in life, I guess, because the music that we used to release sounded like shit. But, like, it was awesome, don't get me wrong, but, like, the quality of it just was not, it wasn't all that. I mean, it was perfect for what we were doing. And I'm like, I got mad respect for like everybody that was involved doing it, but it's funny to think that I cared so much when I got to be around the age of like 23 about my content being good when I had like just said fuck it so much in the past. Like, it's just, and I think that kind of reminds me a lot of this quote I remember with Seth Rogen. He was like in an interview and somebody asked him, do you think marijuana helps your creativity process? Seth Rogen responded by saying, hell no, it just lowers my inhibitions, so I say fuck it and put it out there. And that's exactly, that was my mind frame from the time I was 14 to 23. It was just like, fuck it, dude, who cares? Bring on the hate, bring on the love, we want it all. Actually, there was a really big transition for me when I was originally starting out with punk rock, because the goal of the punk rock band was to go to a show and piss off as many people as possible. And the goal of the hip hop show was to get everybody vibing. So it was really funny the way that the mind, the 180 on the mind frame between the two genres of music went. But I still believe that punk rock is deep in the roots of hip hop as well, on that just fuck it attitude. And a lot of new age hip hop too is more rough and rugged and has that punk aspect to it. So yeah, a couple of that's one. So basically, what I'm saying is my content. I was focusing on my content being too perfect. Fast forward to about 3 weeks ago, actually. I released a couple CDs with my homies last year. We released them. We didn't do very much promotion on them at all, though. I think they're both really good projects. Inauguration Day was beautiful. But take it back to about 3 weeks ago when I was thinking about doing all this stuff. And in my head, I was sitting there saying, you don't know what the fuck you're doing. I'm so nervous to get on here on Facebook Live. People aren't going to dig it. They don't give a shit. And I eventually just had to own up to that humility, say fuck it, come on here and just start. Because that's the only place to start, is the very beginning. Another example of perfection would be when you're cooking. Alright, so when I was cooking a steak for the very first time, I was so fucking nervous, especially I think one of the first times I cooked a steak was for Paige, and I really just wanted her to be impressed with me. I did the amateur rookie mistake of the under-over rule, undercooking, or under-seasoning, overcooking. And yeah, it just, the steak didn't turn out that great, the meal wasn't that great, but I put a hell of a lot of love into it, so I think she still appreciated it. But as with anything, I didn't let that fucking hold me back. I kept going, and eventually, last night I made a steak, and, I got I don't even think twice about it. I pan-sear that motherfucker, throw it in the oven, and it is, cooked to perfection every time. I know what to do now. Isn't that, I said cooked to perfection, even though I said perfection cannot be meat. But it's cooked to my perfection, and that's what this is all about. It's just perspective, all right? So what's good to you might be bad to somebody else. What's bad to you might be good to somebody else. It's just you gotta fucking say fuck it, man, and just do it. Get out there and go. Grill marks, bud. You don't need the grill marks, though. That dries the steak out, I'm telling you. It's right. Pitter patter, bro. Pitter patter. And you never dropped a flame emoji for saying that I look like Johnny Depp, and I'm a little bit butthurt about that. But we'll move on. It's okay. I'll get over it. But But yeah, cooking, you know, perception. It's just, just don't worry about what other people are thinking too much. It's just gonna hold you back. I know with these videos, like, it's not perfect whatsoever, you know, but I'm learning as I go, and I know this channel is gonna develop into something really big because I can see it. Ever since I was really little, I've always just seen myself on stage with a microphone in front of thousands of people. And I always assumed that would be music, but maybe it's gonna be something more like this, where I'm just lifting people up, telling them to fucking go forward and just push on. I'm bringing you guys on the journey. I'm gonna teach you what I'm learning. One of the things that I'm trying to learn how to do better is actually tell a story. You guys want me to tell you how to tell a story? So first you need to think of your subject. So let's say perfection, right? Because that's the topic. First you need to think of your subject. Then you need to think of your theme. Content, the very first thing I was talking about. You need to talk about how you went from a negative to a positive. And then if you want to, you can give some kind of call to action as well. So, you know, when I was talking about the negative of me not putting out the content, but then I turned that into a positive, all the doubt that I had by just saying, fuck it, I'm going to release as much content as possible. All those years of built up, I ended up turning that into something very creative and productive. And I'm really excited, guys. I think I've inspired my wife to kind of like, with some ideas. I think she's going to do really well at this. Actually, I wanted to ask everybody's opinion, and I'll probably ask it again. Nothing's set in stone. But we're talking about setting up like the YouTube channel and the podcast channel, and I don't really know how to go about it. I want to make it as searchable as possible. So I was thinking about maybe just combining the two podcast titles together, calling it Cup of Truth and Tea with Mama P. Or we could come up with a different name and just branch it all under that. Maybe what we were thinking was Wardsall World. But see, even saying that, it just sounds fucking funny. Wardsall World. I mean, it's cool. Like, I like alliterations. Tight. What up, Cody? How you doing, homie? It was nice moving with you, brother. Did you guys dip out of there after I did too? Oh, he's gone. He ain't watching no more. Alright. Well, hey guys, if you guys want to join me in the mornings, that's awesome. I know that like a lot of people's mornings aren't as free as mine. And I feel for you guys, especially with winter coming up. If you got to get out there on the road, make sure you're safe. I did notice that we didn't wake up with any like snow or at least by the time I woke up, there wasn't any frost on the windshield, so that's tight. But yeah, guys, I'm really excited about this. I feel like episode 2 went way better than episode 1. And I'm having a lot of fun, man. I'm having a lot of fun. This is almost kind of like therapy and just like really good practice on like communication skills. So yeah, guys, feel free to replay this. If you do, go ahead and put hashtag replay. You don't have to though, as long as you like take something away from this. Feel free to give me some constructive criticism, either in the comments or through Messenger. I'm open to it all, man. Like, I've been told everything. You're not gonna hurt my feelings whatsoever. I promise you that. I am comfortable enough with myself to where you will not fucking hurt me. So yeah, just remember, you're all you got. You're the only thing holding you back, and we're all we got. So let's build each other up. All right, it's been a nice cup of truth with you guys. I'll see you all tomorrow morning. Not quite sure what the topic's going to be. I'll probably watch this video and then think of a topic. That's kind of been the route that I've been going. But yeah, man, like stay up, everybody. Stay positive. Keep putting out those high vibrations, all right? Think about where you want to be in life. Take action to get there, and you will probably get there. All right, much love. Peace.